Hi, I'm Changsun from South Korea and I'm 24 years old. I do PE classes for disabled students. I also make and edit videos for post on my travels. Since I was young, I've always been passionately curious to experience new things. As I've transitioned into adulthood, I found that travel is the best way for me to experience these new things. So I've tried to travel as much as I can when I have both the time and money, and it has been always a great time for me. I first heard about Fjallraven Polar from a friend last year. Since then, it has been my dream to ride a dog sled in the Arctic. So this year, I decided to join in this event. If you ask me, why do you want to do this? I'll say, because I want to go where I've never been, I want to do what I've never done. There are so many people around the world participating in this event, and Fjallraven Polar says that they don't care how much experience the participants have with the outdoor and travel. When I thought about this, I had one question come to mind. What standard would Fjallraven Polar use to make their selection of just a few people from the many participants? The answer I thought of was this: the depth of one's passion. I don't think anyone wants to fail in this event, and I'm sure everyone applying must have some level of passion. However, I think what will set the winners apart will be the depth of their passion. The winner's passion must be deeper and stronger than the others. So I decided to show that I have a stronger passion than other participants in this event. I decided I would show my passion through action, not merely words. So I made a plan to cross 300 kilometers of South Korea, going from west to east by riding a bike for this Fjallraven Polar 2018. I left my house in the early morning to get on the first train to Incheon, which is one of cities located on the west side of Korea. At 7:10 a.m., I arrived in Incheon. I started my bike journey at 7:20 a.m. Now, you may assume that I ride a bike rather often, but I do not. I've only ridden a bike more than 10 kilometers once, which is when I did the Death Road downhill bike tour in Bolivia. I don't even own a bike, so I had to borrow one from my friend just 2 days before my journey. I also had to borrow a helmet and other necessary equipment from the other friend as well. The day I began my journey was -5 degrees Celsius and very windy. It was freezing riding a bike through that strong cold wind. When I was hungry, I went to convenience stores. I pedaled really hard, and in the afternoon, I reached the Han River in Seoul. The Han River is a major river and the fourth longest river in Korea. I rode along the Han River as I crossed Seoul, and in the late afternoon, I reached Gyeonggi-do. I continued along and kept riding east. As it was winter, the sun set very early. The darkness set in quickly. I was far from Seoul, so there were no city lights. I couldn't see anything without the help of my 2 small bike lights. But I encountered an even bigger problem than the darkness and temperature. When I had biked around 100 kilometers, I started to feel a little pain in my right knee. I didn't pay much attention to it though, and I just pedaled harder with my left foot. However, around 130 kilometers, I felt pain in both knees, and it got worse as I kept riding. But there was no way to go back. I kept pedaling through the darkness. And fortunately, I came across a guest house. I stopped and slept there. At the end of my first day, I had biked 160 kilometers total. On the second day, I woke up and my whole body was aching in pain. Above all, my knees were swollen and aching much more than the previous day. I couldn't even walk up and down the stairs normally. The boss of the guest house was an experienced bike rider. His advice to me was to give up and try the challenge again another time, but I couldn't give up. I got on my bike and began pedaling east again. My knees hurt so much that I couldn't pedal anymore. I was able to walk okay, so I got off the bike and continued my journey on foot. The bike trail ended when I reached Gangwon-do, so I had to walk along the edge of the road. Downhill stretches were only the time I could manage on the bike. If I could have ridden the bike like I did on the first day, I could finish my challenge in 2 days. But due to my knee pain, I just couldn't ride the bike anymore. This unexpected problem made my challenge longer than I had planned. Eventually, I crossed 60 kilometers on the second day. My knees were crying out in pain, but I had to keep moving. So that's exactly what I did. I pulled my bike and kept walking for 2 more days. Finally, 4 days after I started my journey, I reached Pyeongchang. Once I reached Pyeongchang, I had just a little more of my journey left. I walked a little more to Gangneung. And when I arrived there, I was finished. I had traveled as far east in Korea as I could. I didn't expect this challenge to be easy. I thought it was going to be difficult. And it was. Even though I knew it would be hard, I had faith I would succeed. I knew that as long as I just kept moving my feet and didn't give up, I would reach my final destination. I cannot compare this my challenge with 300 kilometers in the Arctic, but I wanted to share how much passion I have through this challenge.